What's going on YouTube, man? It's your boy, the True Raw Gaming. I don't wrap it up for you, man. I don't script it for you. I'm gonna get that shit to you raw, man. In today's video, we're gonna be talking about the perk system. Now, I've been gone for a minute. I haven't dropped a video in a minute. I know. You guys are gonna get on my ass, but hey, I've been playing other games in For Honor with the Discord guys, and you guys are pretty fucking cool. So if you guys want to go ahead and play and hang out with us, go ahead and check out the link down below with the Discord. But going back to the video, we're gonna be talking about the perk system. I've actually been trying to not talk about the perk system because it's kind of tricky, and it's kind of really dividing some parts of the community. But the reason I'm bringing up this conversation now is because with the recent talks of them talking about bringing in maps and everything, they're probably going to start getting to other things because now they're starting to get to the things that backed up in the fixing queue as far as things they want to fix. They've pretty much caught up in a lot of reworks and changing things and got a lot of bugs out of the way. They now have, as you see, announcing the map. So I think now they're going to start trying to fix other fundamental parts of the game, how it might work. So I think this is probably the time they're going to probably start looking at this pretty soon. And I think that the perk system, me in my personal opinion, I know a lot of the community don't like it. I put a poll out. I don't personally think it's trash. I don't think it's trash. I think that maybe because I'm thinking of the intent of what they're trying to do with the perk system. I understand what they're trying to do. The intent was to have the perks kind of boost your hero in a certain direction if you want to play it a certain style, similar to how they had the gear stats. But the gear stats, I think the gear stats did it better by really pushing the character to a certain style of gameplay. Like it was so good that it was too good, and they kind of just didn't want to deal with fixing everything, and I think they kind of just got rid of it. I think that's kind of why they got rid of it. And I'm kind of looking at Berserker with his revenge build. I think he's probably a big reason why they got rid of that. I don't think you should be getting revenge consistently in a 1v1 situation in Dominion. But anyway, I'm kind of not going to talk about it because I know it's probably going to step on some people's shoes. Some people actually really like the perk system. But my honest general 5-second take on the perk system is I think the perk system is not good, but I do see the intent. And the reason I say it's not good is because 90% of the perks are completely useless. There really is no middle ground on these perks. There really isn't. It's really just, hey, you got the most broken perks in the game. You got Bastion and you got Last Stand, and you get it all together, and God forbid you play the fucking objective, you're just gonna get big bonuses of tanking damage from, you know what I'm saying? It's bullshit versus certain characters who have completely nothing. You know what I'm saying? There are quite a few characters on the roster I didn't realize who just don't have anything. And I don't want to say that it's a complete issue that they don't have it, because most of the players who are playing the game just on an average day-to-day basis don't even have all the perks they're supposed to run on the characters anyway. So it's not like it's a game-breaking perk most of the time. But when you're playing, some of these good guys, you want to have everything set up correctly. And when you do, certain characters just have completely the best sets in the game, and it's just not fair. Me personally, when we're talking about specifically the Bastion, the Last Stand, and beefing up the character as much as possible, especially when playing objectives, I just don't think the heavier characters even deserve to have that. I think that should be balanced to give it to someone else. I say that because you see, that's why I say I don't want to talk about this subject, because somebody's gonna click out the video right now. I say that because when they initially put it in, the balance was not here as it is now. Right now, this is probably one of the most balanced times at For Honor, I would say. This is very balanced. Obviously, you're gonna still have some problems with balancing, but as far as a whole, we don't have a cutscene Centurion right now. So I think that this is a very balanced time. Now, when they initially put this in, the system they had it around was a lot of the characters didn't have the same health pool. You had characters who were doing crazy damage and had, for example, Shigoki, he had a lot of health. Him, Raider, I can't remember who else. Dude, they had a fuck ton of health. It was like, I want to say was it 160? 160 health? And then they were running Bastion, and then they had fucking the Last, dude, it was just too much. Don't even talk about them having any other feat. Don't even talk about them getting a shield buff from BP, dude. It was impossible to kill them. It was impossible to melt them. Even if you ganked them, it would just take too long. So the system that they had around then, to compare now, I don't know. I say that it needs to change because at the time that it came out, it was given Shigoki and them had the health bonuses and stuff. You had the Bastion and all that stuff. I don't think that should have went to that character at that time because the character had the most health pool in the game. Why does he need to have more health on point for playing the objective? He's getting a bigger bonus by playing the fucking objective. I don't understand that. I think that could be given to other characters so that would balance it out and allow other characters to be played. But me personally, I would not be against going back to the old system, probably with some tweaks. Because in the old system, you really didn't know what you were running up against. I mean, obviously you had the meta builds as always, but there were so many variety of weird, wacky ass builds that you could build and you just wouldn't, you know what I'm saying? You wouldn't know. Like there's some builds out there that you could have did to have like a lot of fucking chip damage. I'm talking like 8, 9 damage of chip damage, possibly 10 damage of chip damage. Like that's a whole slew of lights. You know what I'm saying? If you're just not parrying that, it would force you to parry because your health is being eaten away because you decide to block. That is a completely different ball game. You know what I'm saying? That's game changing. You know, when you're able to do 10 damage on blocked lights, you know, 12 damage on block heavies, that's game changing. Versus, you know, what we have now. I think it could be game changing. In a lot of cases, it's not. I run it on mine, you know, in my, for example, I run it on Shinobi. Now, I do remember when Shinobi had the combinations of the Remedy, I had the Devourer, and then I ran it with my Bounty Hunter, and at no point would I not get full health. Like, I would be 1 HP, I would light someone out, and I would get like 95% of my max health. And they nerfed it. I understood why they nerfed it. They nerfed it. I tried to keep it silent. It was before I was creating content, but I mean, it got out, you know, people talk, so it got out, and it got nerfed. But I think that the flaws really come in is where there really is no medium ground in the system. It's kind of just either the perks are really good and just overpowered, or they're just completely useless. And you know what I'm saying? And a lot of perks like Remedy, I mean, it's cool, but if you take it off, you really won't notice it too much. I mean, you won't notice it too much. But it's like you might as well run it. You know what I'm saying? That's kind of the case in a lot of these perks. So I think that maybe these perks could change up a little bit, and maybe we could see some maybe a different system. I don't know what they're gonna do, but I would be interested in them taking a look at this system. I know some of the community have been saying to look at the system. I did a poll as well. I know the community wants a look taken at it, but I don't know if everyone is gonna be on board with a complete swap. Because I don't know. I'm not sure if everybody is going to be on board with a complete swap of a system, or a revert of a system, or just complete change. This is kind of touchy. I'm not sure what exactly they could do to this, but tell me what you guys think down below, man. I don't wrap it up for you, man. I'm sure good for you. I'm gonna get a shit too, bro, man. Thank y'all for coming out.